think for us to be able to access funds, we need to also see ourselves, one, as a brand, second, as a business concern, and show that in the feel and look, and also totally have our plan in a backable form. There's nothing wrong in also seeking for financial advice, even from banks or consultants like her. It makes it easier for everybody. So I believe that I don't think there's a problem on this side. I think we just need to work closely more together to get a right construct that will ensure that we do it, or we do the financing in a more creative way and come up with creative industry. And I think Nigerians are well knowledgeable. I think we can come up with all that. Thank you.
I think what you're trying to say is the packaging has to be right, because you run a business, and if artists are coming to you or entities are coming to you, you need to be able to take them seriously in order to give them access to depositors' money, because it's not your money. So yeah, I'm going to come to this side to Aldo, just because you're on the other end of the stick, to just tell us why you think, I mean, you have been able to execute a few successful projects and running a successful business, which is an award-winning business. Why have you been able to do that, and what do you think are the challenges that other artists have, and why they haven't been able to access funds from the sources that you have?
Yeah, I think the first thing is that creative people need to merge with business people to run a business. You know, if you're creative, you're more about the look and feel than the books, the naira and kobo. So if you think about production, people don't mind spending any amount of money to make a fantastic production. But having done that, the question is that how much are you taking home? And if your business is in red after a few years, you're going to close down in business. You know, so that's one. The second thing I've done that I was lucky to do in the beginning was have partnerships and partners, people who also invested their money into the business beyond myself. If you look at businesses in Nigeria, I think one of the biggest problems is that we don't have enough trust. People want to do one-man businesses, or they want to be CEO 100%. Nobody's ready to give up any equity because they feel that they'll be cheated. The truth is that you're cheating yourself, because if you run a business and you have bills to pay, you have no partner, nobody to lean on, and that's how many businesses die. In fact, statistics show that businesses that have partnerships are more likely to make it over a 3 to 5 year period than companies that just start off with one person who takes all the heat. But I do want to say that, I mean, to my guy at Access Bank here, I don't really agree with that. I think that there is a problem, and that problem is on this side, not on this side. And the reason why is that, no, you said that there's no problem here. Oh, so the problem is in you guys. He's very lucky. I'm going to go in. He's very lucky. Oh, okay, good. Then we're friends now. But I think the issue really is that, and I've asked this question before, when the oil industry the oil boom started in 1970, how many bankers knew about petroleum chemical engineering? Nobody. Who knew how to drill? I don't know how to drill. I'm sure many of bankers don't know the process of drilling anything. But they understand that it makes money. So very soon they had oil and gas experts and consultants. I'm saying that the creative sector does need those creative consultants, and I would invest in getting those people to teach you the right thing. We can't be talking over 10 years and saying you don't understand us. Why? Are we speaking French? We're speaking English. And the English is simple. We have got great ideas. They can actually add value. They're employing a lot of people. But the problem is that none of you're still looking at it as a brick and mortar business. You still think about collateral. You still run with double-digit interest rates. You still want some sort of bankable thingy that doesn't work in the creative sector. Now, I'm saying this because I think we're one of the few companies that have run, we've been running for 11, 12 years. We have no bank loan. We've never taken a bank loan before. Never. We owe nobody outside our board the money. But that's not, but if you want to scale a business, you cannot grow a business like that, actually. You do need other people's money. You do need a chunk of money to expand. I'm saying that if companies like us are even afraid of taking loans, then what is the fate of the common guy who's starting off with 200,000 naira. Because that 200,000 naira times 36% per annum becomes, God knows. So that is what we've tried to do. We've tried to make sure that we forge strategic partnerships that make the cost of running our business slightly lower, keep overheads low, make sure that you do things as creative as possible. Since you don't have big money, you must have big creativity. Thank you.
Thank you. Toki, I'm going to try and break it down a bit more for the individual artists. So people that are not running a business, but their own thing is just to create. What do you think their challenges are? Even sort of what Mr. BME has said and what Aldo has said, it means there has to be some kind of organized strategy. And most creatives who are painters, I just want to wake up in the morning and paint. So what can I do? All this thing I'm hearing is jargon.
Well, in a sense, I'm a bit of a creative myself. I mean, all the talk about dreadlocks, I started thinking, oh dear. Oh dear, you know, I have dreadlocks, you know. But the thing that I'm trying to get to is I love the creative industry. I think there are a lot of, Adebantu spoke and somebody else in the audience spoke. The creative industry still does not understand the power that it has. And that is sad. You still don't understand the power that you have. That having been said, in the 16 years I've been working, I've worked with all types of creatives. And here's what it is. As Aldo said, for those on the higher end, you need business managers. The fact that artists have business managers in the developed world, there's a good reason for it. Why? Because we're talking about right brain and left brain functions. They don't go together. The minute an artist begins to do naira and kobo, creativity stops. It stops. So the creative needs to be free to create and have someone else deal with the numbers and the administration and so on. That having been said, here's where I have a disappointment in all the guilds and all the associations that exist in the creative sector. One job that the associations are supposed to be doing, that they're not really doing well, is the capacity building. So this single artist you're talking about needs to understand, even if he or she will not deal with the actual numbers, needs to understand how important those numbers are to what they do. They need to understand that at the beginning of the year, they must have a strategic plan. They must have a plan that shows them that by December 31st, they will be in the black and not in the red. The association has got to support them in ways that they can reach out for the resources required to make their ideas and their dreams become a reality. That's not happening. In terms of my work as a business development consultant, I'm a facilitator. And what I have found is that there are problems on both sides. So please, artists and financiers. What's happening on the artist side? I have some clients currently who want to try and meet the bank demands. Incidentally, I'm a BOI accredited BDSP. And so I have this list of requirements I'm supposed to try and meet. Why do I choose Bank of Industry? Because they're a development bank. Development bank meaning that their interest rate is single digit, as opposed to the commercial banks that are 20-something% and above that will only strangle you and kill you. Right? Okay. But in trying to meet those requirements, I had sent the forms ahead, hard copy, don't use IT. My dear client, fill form, your name, what you want to do, how you want to do it. 1 month, no reply. Every week, phone call. I had to literally go and sit in front of this client. Okay, yes, number one. Oh yeah, right. But the point was, for this client to focus, somebody needed to drive him or her. And then, okay, can I have your account? No account. Okay, no problem. The receipts you've been collecting, can we list and get nothing? Who is going to lend you money when you cannot show what you have been doing with your business? So in terms of meeting documentary requirements, the artists are lacking. They can't meet it. I had to have a meeting with Bank of Industry. After like 3 or 4 months of frustration, I said, come, has anybody accessed this your fund? They say yes, but very few. And the reason why very few have access is because they are unable to meet requirements. But then on the side of the bank, some of those requirements are reasonable. And so when Aldo says, they need to have consultants on the creative side. It's true. When I worked in broadcasting in New York, there were banks that were known for financing intellectual property. And they had expertise in doing it. And they had all the various ideas to do structured financing to bring your dream to a reality.
Thank
so
you
these are
very
some
much.
of the things.
Thank you very much, Toki.